हेलो हेलो। सर सोमनाथ कोई देख रहा है ना, ये ठीक है। हेलो हेलो। वेव कर रहे हैं।
Come with me.
आर्टिफैक्ट
Sharing my knowledge.
पहले
Odds revealed by
Power that ended high
रेजर
thought.
कर लेते हैं फिर।
Into the shadows.
आज तो पुल भी है मेरे पे करने को। कल करने वाला था
Hunt
लास्ट
them
में
down.
स्ट्रीम के, कल किया नहीं,
committed to memory.
भूल
Wings
गया।
of darkness.
Ready. Hit.
क्या? अच्छा, ये जो तुझे से मेरे को अभी दिखाया तेरा मैसेज ई है ना, तूने कितनी देर पहले किया था? ये अभी किया होगा ना? बट तेरे को मेरी आवाज
I
भी
see
तो लेट आएगी
everything.
तो
Make yourselves at
मैं
home.
इसे डिलीट भी कर दिया भाई।
Eyes on me.
मैंने लेटेंसी आज कम करी है, इसलिए पूछ रहा हूँ। डर नहीं रे, EFGHI देखने से नहीं दे।
Where evil lurks. Shoot
डिले
on
है,
sight.
कैसे बताऊंगा मैं?
Everyone hold
मैं लाइव
hands.
स्ट्रीम देख के खत्म।
Midnight phantasmagoria.
थोड़ा तो बिल्कुल डिले हटा के लेता हूँ, फिर भी डिले है तो पता है कितना डिले है? मैं अभी क्लेम कर रहा हूँ और लाइव स्ट्रीम में मेरी स्लोगन खड़ी थी, वही 10 सेकेंड, 15 सेकेंड। अरे यार, ये अटैक था तो कम था। HP का भी होगा चलता।
By royal decree.
To ashes. Time to testify.
Hey.
Midnight Phantasmal.
चल
Power that ended high thought. Where evil lurks. Shoot on
इसका
sight.
रीजन आएगा
Into
तो
the shadows.
करेगा रैंक का। हजार प्रीमो कहाँ मिल रहे? हेलो हे।
I see everything. The Temple of Wisdom. Odds revealed by
To ashes. Ready.
इवेंट है क्या? इवेंट में मिल रहा है या गेम में? 23। अरे
Hunt
तो
them down.
200
this may hurt a little.
As you wish.
नहीं समझा मैं, मुझे बताओ। भाई हम्म,
By royal decree.
Eyes on me!
Hey,
Time to testify. Ready.
मुझे लगा नहीं है।
I see everything. Weathering. Wings of darkness.
ये लोगों से कम होता है क्या होता है
Evil
क्या तेरे
looks.
सामने
Shoot on sight. Loaded.
सेटिंग करेगा तो नहीं होगा क्या है
Add astro.
ओके भाई मैंने तो उसको पूरी कुछ बोला था
Add at. Thank you for
दिखा तुम ठीक कर दूं क्या कर सकता हूँ मैं
Take heart.
मैं- ओके करता हूँ रुक पाए नहीं करते कर ही देता हूँ अगर 60 प्रीमो और मिल जाएंगे तो देखिए तो 3 पुल हो जाएंगे अभी कर दूंगा 3 पुल जमा करके करो टाइम कर रहा है आह, कर रहा है भाई देख 5 की वॉचिंग थी आते जाते रहते हैं कुछ नहीं आया भाई दोनों नीले स्टोरी से बच रही है बस मेरी फिर
Not a peep.
फिर एक और पुल आ
Has
जाएगा
Kirya given up on his revenge? Guess we'll have to keep at it. Still nothing unusual. Paimon took a peek into the room next door and Sylvain's already sleeping.
Perhaps Kiria's true motive was simply forcing Sylvain to confess his crime? No, that can't be right. If all he wanted was for Sylvain to be, there must be something we're missing.
Maybe we just need to calm down a little. How key. That herbal. You're right. Maybe we can look for a different distraction then, like. Oh, there's a glaze lily here. Paimon didn't notice it earlier.
Flowers, glaze lily. Oh no! Sylvain's room! Quick!
Wait, what?
क्या हुआ क्या हुआ?
Hey, did you hear? Someone was attacked again last night.
It was the older of the Merchant brothers, right?
Yeah, I think his name was Sylvain. Poor guy was murdered in cold blood.
First it was Mr. Edgar, then that merchant named Lucian, and now this.
Listen up, everyone. This is an active crime scene.
भाई ये
Please, no
शेरिफ
loitering.
किधर से आया? शेरिफ मेरे को स्टोरी में तो कहीं नहीं दिखा. भाई ये शेरिफ का एलेटम बना के गया है. पहले क्या कहानी पूरी मेरे में.
It's been 3 days and they haven't even caught a glimpse of the guy. What is going on?
Do you think it could be the work of an evil spirit? I mean, how do you get away with something like that with so many people watching?
Keep it moving, everyone. No loitering.
I suppose.
You don't know that. Kyria already attacked you once, and you survived. Perhaps he doesn't consider your crime to be worthy of death.
You were the only reason I managed to survive, Emily. I never did
Damn.
thank you for that,
ना बुरा हो
did
गया है.
I?
Even if I wasn't there, Tainari was also in the vicinity. He would have been able to help.
Is that so? I suppose I have exceptional students, caring friends, and the respect of my peers. If it is that Kyria has nothing, Yelena is gone, it really makes you wonder if there's even...
If you really want an answer, I suppose you'll have to ask Kyria himself once we finally catch him.
Well, I hope, Emily, there's
कीरिया
something else
कीरा
I'd like to
डेथ
ask
नोट
of
वाला
you.
रेफरेंस देख रहे हैं?
With everything that's happened, holding the but so many flowers were
जैसे
transported here for the show.
उसमें भी नहीं मिल रहा
Some
था,
of
इधर
them
भी नहीं मिल रहा है.
thousands of miles. Whether Kyria gets to me first, or I'm
Then
sent
that
back
one
to
day,
Fontaine to stand. I know it's a lot to ask.
Of course, Master.
Really? Oh,
यार खेलने
now
को दो
I
यार, मेरे को मैंने
truly
खेला
have
नहीं अभी
nothing
तक.
to.
Sheriff
correct,
Sham
correct.
still has some questions for me, so I've gotta go.
अगर मैं पे प्रीमो होते मैंने तो लेने नहीं थी ना. ये
Go ahead.
तो
Best not to keep him waiting. He can be quite
टेंडो कैरेक्टर पे
impatient.
सोचता नहीं हूँ ना मैं.
I'm
टेंडो
sorry,
कैरेक्टर है अभी
Master.
तो थोड़ा सा नहीं ना. अभी तक तो नहीं है. नहीं कावे जो है कावे नहीं अच्छा लगता है.
Hmm.
नहीं है पर क्या पुल्स तेरे पे भी नहीं है. ठीक है होंगे भी तू भी नहीं करता तो.
Another all-nighter.
पायमोन तो मार के नहीं देता है ट्रैवलर की वजह से.
Emily still isn't back. I hope she didn't run into any trouble. Yeah, that's true.
Traveler, I had my men start spreading the information you requested. The crowd is gone now too, but after listening to Emily's plan, I started getting the materials together and arranging personnel. To be honest, I'm still not sure how the crime was
The
committed.
key clue was right in front of us the entire time. Let's go. We'll show you where the culprit hid.
चल भाई अब लड़ाई है. Oops.
Emily still isn't back. I hope. Yeah, that's true.
Traveler, I had my men start spreading the information you requested. The crowd is gone now too, but after listening to Emily's plan, I started getting the materials together and arranging personnel. To be honest, I'm still not sure how the crime was committed that night.
The key clue was right in front of us the entire.
अबे
Let's
रिपीट
go.
क्यों रह
We'll
गया?
show you where the culprit.
क्या क्या मैंने ध्यान भी नहीं दिया। क्लिक करने भाई गेम ने कहा कि खुद कर।
This is it.
भाई देखो भाई
The glazed
पहली
lily,
बार
huh? I think I've heard of it before. It's a flower.
Well, did you know it only blooms at night?
नॉर्मली का है भाई फ्लावर जा रहा है वो।
Emily, you're back.
Exactly as expected.
A flower that only blooms at night. Ah, like the Neapolitana lotus.
Exactly. Although the Neapolitana lotus wouldn't be a good substitute in this scenario. When it's closed, the gaps between. That's why Kyria chose the glaze lily as his mechanism.
If applied to the outside, you would still be able to smell a goose, even in the daytime. If poured into the flower pot, the liquid would seep into the soil. That might. There's a sticky substance on the edge of the flower petals. There's a sticky substance on the edge of the flower petals. If you stick the petals together with slime condensate, then, in the daytime, the glaze lily would act almost like a hidden container.
That's right.
स्लाइम
He applied a
कंडेंसेट तो
diluted
गेम
form of
कहीं भी
slime
डाल देता है
condensate
ना
to the petals to stick
ना
them
कुछ
together and
आ ही
enclose a
जाता है
sample of a goose in the center. That way, the goose
खाने
would
में
remain trapped
मतलब
inside during the daytime,
हाँ,
unable to seep between the petals and evaporate into the air. This also allowed the culprit to plant the poison well in advance. However, the diluted slime condensate wouldn't be viscous enough to prevent the petals of the glaze lily from opening at night. So by nightfall, the flower would bloom, thereby.
And Kyria could execute his revenge without having to step foot in.
By the next morning, the sample of a goose would have nearly fully evaporated. The glaze lily would have already closed its petals and.
Wait a second. You're telling me this version of a goose is so toxic, inhaling the minute amount trapped inside a flower isn't. And how did Edgar even survive ingesting a whole bottle of this?
That's because a goose is just as dangerous now as it was all those years ago. The level of toxicity has never changed. Only a small subset of people are.
Ah, you mean people who are sensitive to elemental energy. So it's just some sort of happy coincidence that Sylvain and Lucy. That can't be right. They were involved in the operation all those years ago. If the stuff.
I wouldn't use the word allergic necessarily. It's more like they're susceptible to its effects. But that distinction isn't important. You can think of it this way. It's not that Sylvain and Lucian are innately sensitive to elemental energy, but that Kyria.
All kinds of essential oils commonly found in alchemical products can tempt. The incense I smelled earlier seemed familiar. In Sumeru, scholars use spirit borneal to.
Alchemically produced essential oils, the primordial seawater that.
That stuff gave us a lot of trouble when we first came to Sumeru. Ah, yes. I definitely.
In Sumeru, it's not uncommon to use incense indoors, so its presence wouldn't.
Flowers were pretty important to this plan, huh? The glazed lily is native to Liwa. It would be.
Actually, it's not a coincidence.
No wonder he was willing to pay a small fortune to rent out the hotel. He probably used the mora Yelena left him, don't you think? But in the end, it was just a tool for.
There's a saying among forensic doctors in Fontaine. But up until this point, we haven't been able to detect any trace of Kyria's activities. But because he's been disguised as.
Creating such an intricate mechanism out of a glaze lily. Setting up the spirit, it all points to one person. The Mora spent to rent out the hotel, the way the Auguste flower was cultivated. It all points to one person. The boy who inherited Yelena's legacy.
इसका क्या?
Kyria and Edgar are one and the
ओ
same.
भाई सॉल्व हो गया भाई. एडगर ही है.
But Kirya was only in his teens back then. He wouldn't even be 40 years old, but Edgar's lived here for so many years. Even if he changed his appearance, going that...
Bad news, Sheriff. Mr. Edgar was attacked.
What?
A dark shadow-like figure just ran out of his room. It was giving off a really ominous, but before we could even react, the figure up and disappeared like some sort of ghost or something. Do you think Kyria kidnapped him?
I need you to think very carefully about this. Are you
अटैक
certain
के
that figure
किडनैप
wasn't
की
Edgar
क्या हुआ
himself?
क्या है लोग?
I mean, Mr. Edgar was so frail. I don't see how he could have...
It would seem Master decided to tap into an ill-advised source of...
What? But that's so dangerous with the conditioning.
But why? Why would he do that?
No. If his aim was to target everyone who had a hand in Yelena's death...
If he left Sylvain alive yesterday, not out of a desire to see him suffer, but to confirm the truth about why Yelena
Then there's still one...
The shadow-like figure ran in the direction of the elevator, and my partner immediately chased after them.
We should hurry before they're forced to confront each other.
Where in the world did he go?
A ghost!
It's all right. Please, calm down and take a deep breath.
I saw... How could...
I trust you have packed and...
This is terrifying.
No! Don't come any closer! Skyward! Scatter!
If we go any further, we'll be out of...
It's all right. I can detect a faint whiff of the scent from here. I would say he passed by this location not too long ago. It's this way. Please, follow me.
भाई एमिली वर्सेस डॉग होगा अच्छा. कौन बेटर स्निफर है?
Everyone hold hands.
Skyward! Scatter! Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Yeah! Scatter!
The scent is getting stronger.
Oh! Are you all right? Were you attacked?
No, I'm all right. I was...
Let me take a look.
The air definitely feels heavy. It smells nice, but for some reason, this feeling...
Everything looks all right. It was probably just the stress of the chase, combined with the impact of the environment.
I can't rest. Mr. Edgar is still in there. He taught my sister how to make He's a good man.
Oz, you need to calm down and listen to me. Edgar is the one we're after. He and Kirya are the same
But how is that possible? Mr. Edgar is 70-something. Changing your appearance to look
That's precisely why he had to resort to extraordinary measures to age himself. Kyria used a delusion to bring back the Auguste flower, corroding his body in the process.
No. He couldn't have. Mr. Edgar has been in Port Ormos for years. If someone's...
And what if the impersonation started before he ever set foot in
I...
I've yet to confirm it, But I suspect Kyria killed the real Edgar in Fontaine not long after his release. While Edgar was incarcerated, Kyria started making preparations to replace him, including forcefully aging his body, studying perfumery, and planning the new Edgar then decided to relocate to Sumeru, seemingly out of an innocuous desire to let go of the past. He even left perfume making in favor of mentoring students. But these decisions were all for a specific purpose, and Sumeru fit the bill to a T, with no one around to question his identity. All he had to do was grow a beard, don a pair of glasses. As the years went by, he removed his disguise little by little and continued to refine his skills.
That explains why Sylvain said he barely recognized Edgar. He aged himself decades beyond his years just so he could accomplish.
I need to find Mr. Edgar. He's not that kind of person.
What you really need is to get out of here.
No,
Wait! This environment is likely being influenced by the delusion. Any discomfort, no matter how slight, I know how to relieve your symptoms, Mr. Ooze. Please, I'm sure Kyria... No, Edgar wouldn't want any more innocent people.
Kale is right. The Traveler and I will take things from here. From our brief exposure to a goose, it would seem the substance. This leads me to believe those blessed with a vision or capable of wielding elemental power are more resistant to the effects of actually, now that I think about it, this stronghold likely has multiple points of entry. I hate to trouble you, but
Thanks. Hear that? We're heading out. There's work to be done. Oh!
Traveler, Emily, Paimon, please, for someone whose only purpose in life is revenge, there's no telling what they'll do when there's no
Don't worry. This isn't the end. Not for... We're not going to let a goose kill anyone. Monsters. Perhaps they were attracted here by the increased level of elemental energy. I've never seen these seeds before. They must also have been created with the power of a delusion. It seems to be avoiding us, and there's no other way forward. Perhaps we could try luring it to the edge of the cliff.
Whoa, look at all the Auguste flowers! There are so many of them. Paimon can't believe a single person did all.
I fear that statement is truer than you know, Paimon. Using a delusion comes at a cost, not just time.
But why would Kyria need this? He only needed a few bottles of Auguste to carry out his plan, right?
Perhaps hatred wasn't the only emotion fueling his obsession with Auguste. Not long ago, he told me he didn't want all the flowers transported to Sumeru to wither away in a foreign. But Kyria betrayed Snezhnaya, abandoned Fontaine, and lived his entire life in Sumeru for someone with nowhere to call home. Perhaps dying among a bed of Auguste flowers just like his sister is the best homecoming he...
By royal decree.
Yeah! Skyward!
enough! Ugh.
Hey! This'll brighten up the place.
Time to testify. Into the shadows.
A plant that destroys seeds. Huh, quite the ecological marvel. Let's head back to the place where the seeds first appeared.
Yeah! Skyward! Yeah!
The scent of flowers is getting stronger. We're almost at the end. The scent of flowers is getting stronger.
Did they catch up that no. My strength is just waning. But it doesn't matter. This is far enough.
This is a garden of Auguste flowers. But it's not mine. It's the one that was set on fire all those years. Yelena? Yelena! You tried to hide it from me, but I hope the reason why you continued to use the delusion, the reason why you set your garden on fire, I shouldn't have listened to you that day. I shouldn't have taken the Mora and ran. But by the time I realized something wasn't right, there was nothing left. I know I'm almost 20 years too late. I should have come looking for you. I should have died with you that day. Yelena? Yelena! No! Don't leave me! Yelena!
Emily, I'm alive. No, that's not...
That was an illusion, likely brought about by the residual toxin in your body coupled with the pollen in the air, neither of which...
No! The amount of Auguste I drank, it should have been enough. A fake, but...
We started making the preparations last night with one goal in mind, to create a perfect... The accord is the basis of perfume making,
the product in its most primitive form. Ambergris mixed with cedarwood, rounded out with a base note of agarwood.
This is the scent of leather?
Exactly. We're unable to extract essential oils from leather, but by combining other raw materials, we can recreate its essence. That is the purpose of an accord.
Does that mean you can recreate any scent in the whole world?
I'm afraid not. Certain fragrances in this world are simply one of a kind. That quality is what draws people in and fuels their obsessions.
If I wear a goose to the ball,
I'll also be one of a kind.
Our competitor already got their hands on it.
It doesn't matter how much it costs. I have to buy something better.
This fragrance will be one of a kind, no more. Myths can be deconstructed, miracles can be recreated. All it takes is skill, experience, limitless exploration, and a little patience.
अल्फाडेबल भाई हेलो, आज दूसरी बार दूसरी
The
स्ट्रीम
only
में
thing left is determining where the real Auguste is hidden. Pretending to be attacked means he's not free to move around.
लेटेंसी थोड़ी कम करी मैंने लाइव
Auguste
की,
must be hidden within reach.
Paimon took a peek through the
मतलब
window
जितनी कर
earlier
सकता
and
था
the house
सारी
was
कर दी,
packed with flowers.
फिर भी
The
थोड़ी सी
curator
है.
commissioned a flower pot from Kasharawar capable of retaining heat and moisture.
Perfumes are as beautiful as flowers, and equally as delicate. When stored, you must take care to control the temperature and keep them away from direct sunlight. Did you get all that, Emily?
I got it.
यार एमिली पुल तो करनी थी बट रीमो कहाँ से लाने का.
Did you hear? Someone was attacked again last night.
So, Sylvain is dead. Is that right?
Yes, Master.
देखी तो नहीं बट वही शायद 26 से किसी ने लिखा था अभी चैट में ना, 26 से 30 तक 200 तक वही वाली पोस्ट था.
Convincing you that your revenge had been completed was the easiest way to get you to let down
भेज
your
तो
guard.
कहाँ भेजोगे? ये हाँ लिंक है सी लाइव.
Impossible. Even if you found a way to switch out the bottles, there's no way you. If Auguste was so easy to replicate, Yelena wouldn't have.
It was a combination of rainbow roses, glaze lilies, and Cecilias. Those ingredients would have conflicted with, but recently, we found a way for them to work together.
Rainbow roses, glaze lilies.
Auguste was created over 10 years ago. All this time, people never stopped analyzing it. Never perfumery techniques are advancing day by day. We found better ways to extract essential oils, separate oils and fats. We even discovered new ways to combine fragrances together. The mythos surrounding Auguste may have been untouchable almost 20 years ago, but now it's time for it to become a thing of the past.
The past.
You've been working as a perfumer for all these years. You should have always known that it is possible to make an accord, but the meaning you assigned to Auguste became so inflated, you allowed yourself to get lost in it. Just like the perfume name, you believed in its divinity and grandeur. You believed it was entirely one of a kind. Your obsession with Auguste is also what allowed us to predict how you intended your plan to end and to make preparations in advance.
I want to find one best man. Thank you for coming. From 26 to 30, them will be delivered in week. सही है 200 4 दिन, एक दिन ज्यादा मिलेंगे ना, 5 दिन 6 दिन 4 दिन, एक दिन 2 बार मिलेंगे. भेजा, देखा मैंने, देखा.
We just didn't expect
ये
it to
भाई
happen
आने
so
तो
fast.
प्रीमो आने दो. 26 है ना आज के डेट है, आज 25 है.
Well, you hit the nail on the head now. So,
कॉन्स्टेंटली
Sylvain isn't dead. Since
नहीं बट
you've been
26 से
preparing your
लेके
cord
30
since
तक
last night, I assume
हाँ
you've
कल
also
से
figured that means the news of Sylvain's death. The crowd gathered outside the hotel this morning. It was all.
Yes. If we hadn't, you might
बढ़िया है
have
बढ़िया है
resorted to the delusion out of desperation, or continued to use your spirit born
काजुआ
will
नहीं है
and a
पता है
goose
मेरे पे अभी
combination to
तक
wreak
3
havoc.
साल से खेल रहा हूँ भाई काजुआ नहीं कौन इस पे नहीं होता है
Who
काजुआ
knows? Maybe I would have
बट इस
just
बार लगता है आ
offed
ही जाएगा
myself then and there.
I know if you
आ
had
ही जाएगा
things your
मतलब
way,
पुल कर दूंगा
you would
मैंने
carry
पुल ही
the
नहीं
truth
करता
of
मैं काजुआ
Edgar's demise and the secrets of this garden to the grave, but I'm sorry, Master. I don't want to see any. Sylvain only inhaled a small amount of poison. All the crimes he concealed back then will be exposed in a court of law for everyone to see.
Is that so? Well,
Whoa, he accepted that kind of fast.
I don't feel the need
हाँ
to
समझ गया
justify
यार
my
मैं
actions. Nor do I.
30
I
सेकंड
did
7
what
20
I set out to do. I may have lost in the end.
मेरे को लग रहा था कि आज है
But
26
there's
ना
no going back.
इसलिए इसलिए
Is
मेरे को
there?
लगा 4 दिन
Careful, everyone. This environment is dangerous.
Stick close and hurry up. Can't let it.
Looks like I'm almost out of time.
Of course, Master.
The combination you
मास्टर की
used
भाई
to
ये
make
नहीं है
your
असली मास्टर
accord.
भाई
How?
The scent of a goose is complex and varied, yet so, as I was analyzing the sample yesterday,
परफ्यूम मिलेगा
I got to
परफ्यूम भाई
thinking,
मैं
what
लगाएगा
if the
देख
scent of the Auguste flower?
You're saying
वो परफ्यूम लगा के पुल
Yelena
करेगा
designed August to have the
मास्टर यही
scent
है
of multiple
नहीं नहीं
flowers?
इन्होंने मतलब शायद अभी बताएं शायद यही है बट उन्होंने पहले इनकी थ्योरी में था ना कि एडगर को हीरा ने पहले ही मार दिया था सालों पहले और फिर उसका शक्ल लेके सुमेरु में रह रहा था इतने टाइम से डिल्यूशन यूज कर रहा था
Rainbow roses, glazed lilies, Cecilias. The perfumers of the past knew that if you combine their essential oils directly, they would just cancel each other out. But if you cultivate a new flower species that intrinsically carries the unique features of those three scents,
Rainbow roses, glaze lilies. Yelena.
है भाई T-Rex without saying ये एडगर तो जब वो जेल ओ वो नहीं ए एमिली को सुमेरु में थोड़ी पढ़ाया होगा फाउंटेन में पढ़ाया होगा ना और कीरा तो जेल से निकल के उसको मार के सीधा सुमेरु आया है ना अगर एमिली को सुमेरु में पढ़ाया है तो कीरा ने पढ़ाया है अगर उसको फाउंटेन में पढ़ाई कराई है तो एडगर ने की है
Did you know? Miss Emily's releasing a new perfume!
Right. I heard about that. I think it's called Yelena.
भाई मैं तो ये सोच रहा हूँ अभी आगे जाके चियोरी और एमिली का साथ में कुछ शॉप खोल देंगे ना
Seems like everyone in Fontaine is talking about the new perfume you're releasing.
चियोरिया परफ्यूम
I was hoping to release it without such a fuss, but
पता नहीं क्या
the news spread way faster than I expected.
पेंट करे रहेंगे यार कपड़े बेचेंगे हम उनमें कपड़े परफ्यूम
I just hope it won't become the source of some new I did, although I made a few modifications to the
चियोरी
formula to make the scent more pleasant and long-lasting. Also, I was hoping you could try out the fragrance before I officially release it.
चियोरी की शॉप को तो देख के दुख होता है भाई
Sense of smell go hand in
70
hand,
बोल
you know?
किए थे मैंने
Just
उसकी शॉप
leave
के
it
आगे
the
खड़े
first
किए
time.
हार गया अगली बार नहीं करूंगा अच्छी जगह नहीं है फाउंटेन में कभी जीतना ही नहीं था नहीं फाउंटेन के मेन सिटी में कभी नहीं जीता
Oh, it smells
दोनों
good.
बार हारा
It's all right. All feedback is worth besides, when it comes to perfume, commenting on whether it smells good is the most straightforward assessment you can ask.
Right. Do
वहाँ
those
पे
flowers have some
कंजर्वेटिव
special
चल रही
meaning?
है
Hearing their names seemed to have an effect.
If I had to guess,
हाँ
I'd say it probably has.
The language of flowers?
इस
Oh,
बात की
we've heard of that
कन्वर्सेशन
before. Paimon remembers hearing something like,
What each flower is said to
है
represent
करनी
varies by person and across different moments in history. After returning to Fontaine, I did some research, and it turns out the meanings of those 3 flowers
वो शायद तुम्हारा
forget the
नाव्य
past and
फ्लोरेंट की
keep
स्टोरी
on
कुछ
living.
है, वहां से शुरू होता है वो,
Perhaps that's the legacy Yelena always
या तो चियोरी
intended,
की स्टोरी कुछ।
not the nobility and grandeur most people associate with the goose.
You think Kiria knew about that?
I paid him a visit before his trial and explained, who knows, maybe she didn't mean anything by it. Yelena
जा
is
रहा हूँ मैं
gone. We'll never know what she was thinking. We can look for meaning all we want, but it'll never be anything but conjecture. Even if that is what she was trying to say, I would never... Avenging her death? That was the meaning I chose for my life. Kiria cultivated his revenge like a flower. He was committed to making it bloom, even if in the end, it didn't bear the fruit.
जी
In
भाई
any
हम भी
case,
चाय
he
पियेंगे
did
फ्री
want me to
की,
pass along his thank you for saving my
चर्चा
life,
उनको करने दो,
for giving me the chance
हम
to learn
जज
that a
करेंगे।
goose could love and hatred are when someone dies, their thoughts, feelings, and intentions die with them. In that sense, what a goose truly represents in the language of but even if it's only a conjecture, I would like the meaning we give to flowers, the symbolism we assign to our perfumes, and yet at the very outset, they're born from the simplest and most beautiful desires.
खत्म हो गया भाई फ्लोरेंट एप्पल, फिर मिस्ट्री जैसा टॉपिक है लाइक ये करना था, मैं निकला क्यों शॉप से? हाँ भाई किधर है, चियोरी हो गया, किरारा खड़ी है, किरारा तो चियोरी पर
Fashion Week is coming up. My husband promised to give me a replica of the most eye-catching outfit from the show.
शॉप के अंदर ना,
Anyway, please look after Chiori for me.
मेरे ख्याल से जो तुम बात कर रहे हो ना वो चाय पे चर्चा, हाँ वो अगर तुम मेरी लाइव स्ट्रीम से बात कर रहे हो कल की, तो वो स्टोरी पर कर दी है ना, कल लाइव पे की थी, तो यहाँ पे बैठ के चाय पी रहे थे, वो फ्लोरेंट की स्टोरी थी उस टाइम, शिमला स्टोरी है वो, देखते हैं ये शिमला की, अबे मैंने नहीं किया यार, तो ये तो भूल जाऊंगा। आवाज थी उस स्टोरी को इसमें, या जो भी कुछ तो उसमें आवाज थी, अगर उसमें आवाज थी तो मेरे को याद होनी चाहिए, बट आवाज नहीं थी तो फिर मैंने ध्यान नहीं दिया होगा, वरना तो चियोरी यहाँ खड़ी है, वो शायद रीसेट हो गया, मैं आपको रिकॉर्डिंग तो भेज सकते हो, ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं बिलीव नहीं कर रहा, मान होगा, बस मैं भूल जाता हूँ, वरना चियोरी की स्टोरी को वहाँ खड़ी है, मैं मिलता नहीं हूँ भाई उससे, उसके रीरन पे मिलेंगे, आवाज थी भाई, आवाज थी तो सिग्नल हो गया। चेक करो, एक काम करते हैं ना, उस एडगर के घर पे जाके विश करेंगे। एक ही विषय होगी इतनी में
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
क्या इस क्या ये मैं काजू खेल रहे हैं आएगी और एक्टिविटी तो मैं नहीं करने वाला
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
This shop looks popular today. Wonder what the occasion is. Butterfly Dew Cosmetics now on sale. Oh, Seedween's here too. Hey there, Seedween! Hello there, Traveler and Paimon. I hope you're keeping yourselves fit and healthy. You bet we are. So anyway, what are you doing here, Seed? The Duke insists I take regular vacations in the Court of Fontaine. This one just so happened to coincide with a promotion for a new skincare product, so I came over to take a look. I like to keep up with the latest industry developments when I can, to help me with my magazine articles. Wait, you write? For a magazine? It's called Beautés en Fleur, and it's run by the Fontaine Beauty Association. I've done lots of articles about skincare for them. Oh, wow! You're a maritime flower? If Paimon's not mistaken, you're one of the leading figures in the Fontaine Beauty. What's so weird about that? I really like this role. The staff at cosmetic shops are always so polite. And as long as I wear it, well, they sure don't want to make an enemy of the. Obviously, it's because of Seedween's love for beauty. Still a leader of. The truth is, I study this field because I cherish my own appearance. It has nothing to do with being beautiful. Oh, the words of a master beautician defy comprehension. Oh, wait, you're saying that natural beauty is the. Not really. Actually, Melusine aesthetics are very different from human ones. We don't view humans based on their appearance. If I had to describe our approach, I'd say it's based on cuteness. Oh, really? Yep. Still, I really value my current appearance, and in the process of taking care of it, it turns out my knowledge and experience is pretty popular with beauty products. Oh, Paimon gets it now. But speaking of your appearance, how come... Ooh, wait, sorry. That was... No, I don't mind. I'm not mixed, though. I made a decision to turn myself into this form. A very long... If you're interested, I could tell you the story. A shape-shifting story? Oh, heck yeah, of course we're interested. Once upon a time... Long ago, humans rejected Melusines, and Melusines feared humans. There was one Melusine who became fascinated with human medicine, but no human wanted her help. And there was one girl who liked Melusines, so no humans would make friends with her. So, the Melusine became the girl's friend, and the girl became the Melusine's patient. Your checkup's all done. You're still in perfect health. Thank you, Dr. Melusine. In this game of doctor and patient, a friendship was born. Then, one day, the girl fell ill. The Melusine was the only doctor to arrive on time, but the adults sent her away.
Scram! Melusines can't be trusted!
So just because I'm not human, I can't save my best friend? In desperation, the Melusine approached the frightening witch. She begged and begged until she got a reply.
If you take this potion, concocted of sin, you will gain a human face and grow human limbs. But then, you will lose everything that attracted this friend of yours to you in the first place. Can you accept that?
The Melusine did not hesitate for very long.
रिकॉर्ड किया है पर डीसी पे भेज नहीं पा
On a
रहा।
rainy night,
और
a little doctor knocked on the girl's door. The doctor wore a hood and raincoat, maybe to protect her from the rain, but maybe also to hide a
कर रहे
secret.
हो तो
The little doctor held the girl's hand and treated her illness, just as she had so many times before. Dawn came, and the little girl's condition improved. But the little
लिंक
doctor
भेज
was
देते ना
long
तो मेरे को,
gone, for
लेकिन
she knew
रिकॉर्ड किया कि
her
अपनी
friend
गेम्स है
would never recognize her again.
फिर तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते थे। अगर यूट्यूब से रिकॉर्ड किया तो लिंक ही भेज देते।
I've lived my life. Ooh, a witch? A potion? Why does this sound like a fairy? Trust me, it must be the way you told it then. It just sounds, yeah. Not every Melusine would take human form to save their human friend. That must have been a huge
खत्म
decision.
होने वाला है सिमिलान का यार, कर लो मतलब वो
Treating
क्विज भी।
patients is a doctor's duty. We must always find a way. It's so crazy that they turned you away just because you were a Melusine. Especially when their daughter
अपलोड
was
कर
so
रहा
sick.
हूँ। ठीक है।
Well, sometimes appearance can be a real barrier. But that was Paimon too! You're super cute this way.
Attention customers! Thank you all for waiting. Now, on behalf of our skincare partner, I'm delighted to announce that our exciting new product is now—
Well, there we go. Let's have a look, shall we? Paimon, if you want to buy any skincare products, I'll be— Really? Personal advice right from a leader of the Fontaine—
Allow me to introduce our newest skin lotion, Butterfly Dew. I'm sure many of you have already read about this product. To say that it improves skin quality is an understatement. This product gets its name from the way it transforms your skin and makes it glow anew, like a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis and spreading its wings for the first time. We are thrilled to have the inventor of this fantastic product with us here today. Please welcome Mr. Rawat, a researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute. Now, without further ado—
Thank you. Hello everyone, I'm Rawat, and I developed Butterfly Dew.
Wow, what a looker.
He's a researcher? Wow, he's really challenging the stereotype.
It seems that everyone is surprised by my entrance. I'm well aware that researchers are generally better known for their brains than their dashing good looks. In that regard, I do believe I break the mold. Of course, appearance is a skin-deep way of defining a person. And yet one's appearance can be a very real set of shackles, holding a person back in their life. It can rob a young person of their self-confidence when applying for a job, dissuade a young lady from approaching the one she loves. Our actions are at the mercy of our appearance, and we slowly become the very person that the outside— But what if I told you that those shackles can be If our appearance prevents us from changing, then let us first change our appearance itself. Wash away moles, birthmarks, and wrinkles, and they can no longer rob us of our confidence. Replace them with luster and radiance, and we shall never again hang our heads in shame. That is why Butterfly Dew exists. Its mission is to allow us to shed our pupae, undergo a complete metamorphosis, and embrace a new life.
Well, whether it actually works or not, after that speech, Paimon's already sold.
Mr. Robot, could I ask if...
Of course, I tried it many times while I was testing it. You can consider me a
Wow, then it's sure to work.
Still, I don't expect to convince you just by blowing my own trumpet. So, could I get a
Oh, Paimon volunteers!
Hmm? Ah, what an honor! It appears we have a giant of the Fontaine Beauty Association here with us. In that case, Miss Sijuin, could we seek your most expert opinion on
Oh, is that Romaritime flower? They say she's the pickiest user of skincare products in all of Fontaine.
Here you go.
Well, it's very kind to the skin, and the absorption rate is high. Even for Fontaine, this is a first-rate product. Wow, now that's high
I'll take one. Any discounts?
All right. Well, all that remains for me to say is, Butterfly Dew is now on sale!
Think we should buy a bottle too?
क्या कहना चाहिए भाई? Are you being self या ये तो मैं कभी नहीं कहूँगा.
Of course you bring up Mora. Fine, Paimon will pay out of her own pocket. And if you're worried about whether it's the right product for you, well, luckily for us, Sijuin's here, so we can get an expert.
भाई 10 मिनट की स्टोरी के बाद स्टोरी का टाइटल आया है भी. भेजा नहीं.
For tailoring services, please make a reservation in advance.
And that's the way the cookie crumbled. So what do you think? You
The
two
secrets
fancy
of the
taking a
mechanical
stroll
arts are
around
too
my
profound
kingdom?
to convey in a few simple
Not at all.
Sounds so far-fetched.
I grow weary
actually
whenever I
think
begin
it-
to divulge them.
If we're going to be traveling with a king, we'll need proper titles as well. The royal tailor. Okay.
भाई ये कब
I'm
आया
sure
है?
those would work, but we don't have. We go buy a music. Let's just say I've.
लाइफ पे देखनी है क्या?
Developed a
देख लिया
new
मैंने.
Imagine it. One night, while I'm asleep, one of the small dancing figures moving on its own.
ये क्वेस्ट का नाम बता सकते हो तो मुझे?
Any normal person.
Peace prevails throughout the land, and all things are made new, as buds in the spring. This
देख
is my
सकते हो कि
And
जरूरत.
that's the way the cookie crumbled.
देख
So
लिया
what do you
वैसे
think?
मैंने तो.
You two.
बट ये क्वेस्ट का नाम हम चाहता था.
That's the way.
मैं बता पाऊंगा मैंने की नहीं दी. कोई क्वेस्ट नहीं है जस्ट रैंडम. अरे बाप रे भाई मेरे को नहीं आया. या तो ये तब होगा तुमने स्टोरी क्वेस्ट कर लिया चोरी की. इवेंट के वो होंगे ना रिक्वायरमेंट. क्या है तुमने चोरी की स्टोरी क्वेस्ट कर लिया तुमने मिलान का दोनों कर रखा है तो ही आएगा. जैसे कि मैंने स्टोरी तो करी नहीं है ना. स्टोरी की तो करना हो गया. टाइम का इशू. टाइम
Fashion Week is coming up. My husband promised to get me a replica of the most.
मिलान का रिलेटेड था अपने क्लोरीन का
Perhaps we
कोई
could stop a
या
while at
पूरी
one's
सेट हो
abode
गया.
for some repose and conversation.
सेट हो गया. अरे और रहने दो. और
Eye-catching outfit from the show.
कोई कुछ नहीं किया है और फिर देखो मैंने क्यों किया यार, मेरे को भी नहीं करना था।
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
It's an honor to receive such high praise from you. To be honest, I was also hoping you might be able to point out some flaws in the product so I can keep improving it.
With most skincare products, the pros and cons only become apparent with long-term use. Yet,
तो ये
this
लोग
will
वहाँ
have
बस बैठे
instant
हुए हैं ना,
benefits, improving skin
मतलब उनसे
quality
बात
without
खत्म करने
any
के बाद
obvious
भी वहीं
side
बैठे
effects.
रहते हैं वो।
Don't worry though, I plan to keep using it, and I'll publish regular reviews and—
Oh, I was hoping for a more casual conversation, but
Yeah.
you are a beauty association leader after all. I understand if you want to.
Seedream?
ये देखो भी।
Excuse us, Miss Beauty X.
Wait, are you?
That's right, and by his side, the equally—
Well, I don't normally handle. Butterfly Dew is made for all skin types, so no matter who you are, you can rest assured that it will be kind to your skin.
Why would it work better on Fontaine?
In the interests of protecting my trade secrets, I'm afraid I can't
तो भाई
answer
यहीं
that,
पे
Miss
प्लॉट
Piper.
शुरू हो गया है हमारे सीजन का। भाई ये बंदा है, इसी को मारेंगे हम लास्ट में। बोल दिया मैंने।
Alright then, how about a friend discount?
फ्रेंड डिस्काउंट कौन है भाई तू?
Save yourself the trouble. I'd be greatly honored to have both of you use my product. Here, take 2 bottles for
भाई
free.
ले फ्री में भाई, ट्रैवलर के नाम पे सब हो जाता है।
Yay! Paimon's private fund survives!
I can see why you might think that, but please don't misunderstand. This gift is simply a token of my esteem. Now, to me, finding new customers for Butterfly Dew is about meeting kindred spirits, fellow admirers of physical beauty. I consider it a labor of love.
पर
Admirers of
भाई
physical
ये तो
beauty?
अलग टाइप की
Eesh, that's embarrassing to say out loud. It sounds so shallow.
It's nothing to be ashamed of, Miss Paimon. Most people claim to desire inner virtue, but this is a fact of life. It's only natural for people to desire to become beautiful. And that's exactly what
You're right. Everyone loves beauty, don't they?
Look at the time. My apologies, but I have other things to attend to. I'll leave you with these 2 bottles of Butterfly Dew, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Paimon, I'd say there's no need for you and the Traveler to use this product for now. Why? Is there a problem with it? The quality is fine. I just think there's room for improvement. I think I could add some ingredients to the mix to make it more effective. Really? Then why didn't you tell Rawat about— Researchers are a very special breed of human. You can point out their flaws to their face and they won't mind very much. But if you tell them that someone else could do a better job, ooh, now that'll make them really upset. If I'd mentioned it, he probably wouldn't have given you those 2 bottles for free. Fair enough, that makes sense. If you're interested in the more effective version, I can write up a list of ingredients for you. Just come get me once you— When you say more effective, you mean it'll make Paimon even prettier? Ooh, how can we say no? As for me, it's probably time I got back to the Fortress of Maripede. Alright, see you there then!
देखते हैं भाई अगर वही विलेन निकलेगा।
Just up ahead, Traveler. The ingredients for Seedwing should be nearby. I see everything.
Loaded.
रैंड की जो बेस्टी में वो तो बिना काजवा के पॉसिबल नहीं है। काजवा चाहिए एक हफ्ते। अरे कहाँ है वो?
Great! That's everything! Let's head to the Fortress of Mirapede!
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Yeah! Scatter!
गूगल बेस्ट है, मैं यूज कर रहा हूँ शेवरेज थोमा है ना। मैंने भी उसी चक्कर में शेवरेज ली। अच्छी है, यूज की मैंने शेवरेज। बट मैं थोमा जरूरी है क्योंकि रेजिस्टेंस के लिए ना। बट मैंने इसको यूज नहीं किया। पर काम हो रहा है। थोमा बर्निंग बना दिया। हाँ, देखने में क्या जाता है। एमिली के लिए आर्टिफैक्ट मुझे बता दिया था, वरना मैंने उसे कोई नोबली ही दे रखा था।
Please, you have to believe me. I saw it with my own eyes last night. Another me.
Got it? Okay. I've written down everything you told me. Now, I have a few tests to first. Which finger am I holding up?
Your index finger, but I'm telling you, my...
Very good. Now, on to the next. Hey there! Your Grace, it's been a while, huh?
Ah, it's you two. Indeed it has. I would offer you some tea, but I'm afraid the timing is unfortunate.
No worries. Actually, we were looking for Seedween. Do you, know what all...
This inmate came running to the guards in a panic, claiming to have seen his exact...
A doppelganger? Doesn't that just mean someone else kinda looks like...
And that's what I thought when the report first reached my
Don't try
desk.
नहीं।
But we've inspected our records. No one even
वैसी
vaguely
गेम्स
resembles him.
मैं देखना ही पसंद करता हूँ, मैं खेलता नहीं।
Considering how certain he is of what he saw, I can only
सब
surmise
वही
that
खेल
he's
रहे हैं
having some
आजकल।
mental issues.
Alright, very good.
खेल सकता हूँ मैं,
Take a
खेलने
sip
का
of
नहीं है,
water
बट
and rest for a bit.
मजा नहीं आएगा।
Evaluation complete. I couldn't find any symptoms pointing...
I see. So do you still believe there's more likely to be an issue with his mind than his body?
I have to assume so for now. Psychological issues are more difficult to detect. At this stage, we can at least confirm that he is in command of his cognitive faculties.
The rumor mill will go crazy if word of this gets out. Guards, take him to the ward for a period. The Marechaussee Phantom has requested my cooperation on a case. Otherwise, I deal with this myself. Sorry for the trouble, head nurse, but I'll have...
No problem, Your Grace. I'll add him to my observation.
By the way, we have a couple of guests here who have made the trip just to see you. I imagine it must be important.
Oh, Traveler! Hey there, Seedween! It's actually not that...
I'll be in my office if you desperately need me.
Okay, bye-bye! So, would you mind waiting for just a... Oh, sure!
Seedween, we've brought him. And he seems to have taken a turn for the worse again.
Okay, don't panic. Let's start by sitting him down here. Paimon had no idea how busy it can get for Seedween. Good point. Besides, it might actually be interesting to observe her. This could hurt, so I suggest you take...
ठीक है।
Did his face melt? What happened to...
It's anyone's guess. His face melted off shortly after arriving at the fortress. But since he's a serious offender, he can't be allowed out for medical treatment. Oh, this is gonna be awkward. We still need to bring him to the Marechaussee Phantom for questioning. What if he scares them half to death? Will that be our fault?
The Marechaussee Phantom? Does this have something to do...
Yep, it was a huge case. They They bagged a few dozen crooks in one fell swoop, and this guy's the baddest apple of the bunch. He harmed count.
You done gawking?
Not yet. I need to check the severity of your ulcers to decide the Don't worry. We Melusines have a very different sense of aesthetics from humans. To me, you just look like a little kitty with slightly scruffy fur, but...
Don't patronize me. Do I look like a kid to you? Just give me the meds and let me out of here.
Hey, lose the attitude. You dare talk back to our head nurse like that again, you're...
Oh, it's fine. Okay, I'm going to apply the medication now. Look how nice Seedween's being. And he still talks to her like that? What a nut.
Can I leave now?
Wow, not a peep. What a...
Thank you, Sejuin. And I apologize for the trouble.
So, Traveler, we did, but we don't want to interfere or anything. Oh, don't be silly. I agreed to it, didn't I? Just hand me the ingredients, and I'll make some time to whip it into the... Take a rest here if you want. Or, if you're not tired, I hear they're holding a new pancreation tournament in the administration area. Or alternatively, is there anything we could help you with, Siege? That's right! Let us help you out! It's the least... Good point. Kind-hearted humans start to develop guilt if they accept free help from others. Don't worry. I'll take a look at my schedule. I'm sure I can find something to treat. I gotta warn you, though. It'll be tiring work. So We're ready, Seedween. What's our first mission? I found the perfect job for the Traveler. First, I'd like you to lie down in the...
भाई ब्यूटी प्रोडक्ट ही लगा रही है ना
What for? I need you to pretend to be sick. What? Oh, is it that difficult? Oh, so you... I sure did. He was way more interesting than the usual malingering inmates. And you played along very well, Paimon. Well, this is awkward. But what? No time to explain. My next patient will be here any second. Oh, please, just do as I say. You can... okay.
Hey, Doc.
Well, your mother has enough on her plate with a busy job. Well, the last thing she needs is to worry about...
I know! I shouldn't treat the place like a playground. Shouldn't go swimming in the lower... I thought I'd be able to have some fun here at the fortress for a few days. But it's always, don't do this.
All right. Sit yourself
भाई
down
जेल
and I'll
में
take your
बच्चा आया
temperature.
कैसे है पहली बात तो
Your fever still hasn't gone down.
Good
Well, here's your
morning,
medicine.
right.
1 cup for starters, and we'll see if it helps.
But Doc, it's so bitter. Do I really have to drink it? I mean, I'll be fine, right? Can't you just write me a note saying I'm on the mend? I just...
I sure
Huh?
Well, if you want to rely on your own immune system to clear up your fever, then you'll have to tough it out like this guy. Hang in there, Traveler! Are you gonna puke? Paimon can get you a as long as you're tough enough to get through the nausea and dizziness caused by the high fever, you'll be right as rain after just a...
And...
Hey! Wake! Put it this way. At least you'll never have to see the doctor again.
I think maybe...
Oh, of course.
It's so bitter.
All done. Great job, you two. That kid really doesn't know what's good for him. His mother's a guard here. She's been working back-to-back shifts lately. But unfortunately, his father's away up. He was quite happy at first. He seemed to think that the Fortress of Meripede would be all fun and games. So you made us put on that act just to scare a kid into taking his medicine? That's a pretty sneaky trick. Seems like... It's a technique I learned from my teacher. Oh, you had a teacher? Was she a Melusine doctor too? She was human. She passed away a long time ago. Oh, sorry. No, it's fine. I really liked my teacher, so it's always nice when I get to talk about her with other people. She was a traveling doctor, and since she didn't have a clinic, she'd go out and visit her patients wherever they were. Dealing with the badly behaved ones was her specialty. She used to say, if you can scare the little brats into taking their medicine, you won't have to hear them wailing and screeching when their condition gets worse.
Huh, she sounds like a pretty strict teacher.
Strict? Well, that's not how my teacher saw it. She thought of herself as terrifying to kids.
Strange way for a doctor to describe themselves. Now Paimon's curious to know what she looked like.
As it happens, I actually have a picture of her.
Oh, wow, yeah, okay, that'll terrify the kids.
Yep. All the children she treated thought she was a witch.
Why does it almost sound like you're envious of her?
Oh, because I am. If she was here, all the children would take their medicine without any need for tricks.
A doctor who looks like a witch. True, they wouldn't dare try anything funny with her around.
Oh, me, on the other hand, it's hopeless. Children aren't afraid of me at all.
That's actually a good thing, you know?
Oh, my next patient should be arriving now. Would you mind lending me a hand again?
Sure thing! On to the next mission! Is it nighttime already?
Well, thanks to you two.
Should we get some rest? It's getting...
Oh, there is one last thing. I have...
Confidential? Are you sure?
It's fine. You're not living here anymore, so it's okay if you know. All it is I have to prepare some ingredients to make healthy meals with.
Wait, you mean those healthy meals?
My patients refuse to eat any healthy meals I prepare in front of them, so I have to prep the ingredients in secret, then let the chef at the Coupon cafeteria handle the rest.
Considering even the chef's version makes people uneasy, it really makes you wonder what's in it.
You want to find out? I can teach you how to make it. That way, if you ever suffer from exhaustion on your future travels, you can prepare a healthy meal for yourself. It's really good for you, you know.
Sure? Guess we can help out one more time.
The ingredients are ready. Now, put them on the table and add them in the order I tell you. First, we add this special slime condensate. Stir it thoroughly.
Yeah, it really does! Until you remember it's slime condensate.
Next up, xenochromatic crystals. You want to crush them up into a fine powder, like powdered sugar.
Wait, are those from Fontimer Aberrants? Are you sure they're
Finally, we'll need some high-protein meat. Frogs are an excellent choice. You just need to clean their innards, and then you're left with some lovely, tender...
Oh! Frogs.
And we're done. All that's left now is to pack them into lunch boxes and hand them to Walsey. Yesterday in the production zone, I noticed an inmate who's been working for 2 days straight. That means it's a healthy meal for him tomorrow.
Seadwing really does have the inmate's best interests at heart.
Scatter!
Ah, head nurse. Got some extras for me?
Just the one today. The serial number's on the lid.
Sounds good. I'll make sure it gets delivered.
Sounds like they're talking in code.
Thanks for your help.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. I only wish I could do more. You work so hard for all our...
That won't do. If you reduce your sleeping hours any further, your health will start to...
All right. Nurse's orders. I'll do as I'm told. But you take care of your...
Well, I'm done with work for today. Thanks for helping out, you two.
Seems like the guards and staff here have a lot of respect for you, Seedream. In just one day of helping you with your work, it feels like we've done a lot for the fort.
Head nurse, please, wait. I'm sorry to disturb you this late at night, but I think you'll agree, this is urgent.
Okay, just relax and catch your breath. What's the matter?
The guard at the observation ward, Odilon, he told me to pass on a message to you. One of the inmates there, the guy suffering from possible hallucinations, well, he seems to have made a sudden recovery, and now he wants to apply for permission to leave the ward.
Huh?
You were right to tell me. I'll have to examine him and make sure he's well before...
Looks like we've got one job as medical assistants left. We'll come with you.
Yeah! Scatter! Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Yeah! Skyward!
Ah, head nurse, you're finally here. I'm so sorry for all the trouble I've caused you. After giving it some thought, I'm sure that I was probably just seeing things. Stressed.
I totally understand. Still, I have to give you an examination before I can discharge you, okay? So, take a deep breath and don't be nervous. It'll be the exact same
Again, so sorry. I was in such a state this morning.
Oh, not at all. It's a lot to remember. First up, we have a little cognitive test. Just concentrate.
Your pinky.
All right. All indicators seem normal.
So it was a stress-induced hallucination after all?
Well, we've certainly had previous cases of mental illness caused by overwork, which is why I carefully observe everyone in the production zone. I wonder how I managed to miss the signs this time.
Please, head nurse, you shouldn't blame yourself. I'm just still adapting, that's all. Pushed myself too hard, and I guess I couldn't take it. Thanks for looking after me. I'll be as good as new after a good night's sleep. And if you can give me the okay, I know I'll sleep better back in my good old dorm.
It can be difficult to relax in an unfamiliar environment. All right then, you can leave. I suggest you take 2 days off to focus on your recovery. I'll take you off the observation list for now. So, you're officially discharged.
Great. I can't thank you enough.
Mr. Odilon, could you escort him back?
Of course. I'm on guard duty in the administrative area tonight, so nothing will go...
Guess you're finally done for the day now, huh?
Yep. But I still haven't gotten around to making that improved lotion for you yet.
Oh, no rush! Seriously, it's super late now. You should go get some...
Well, tomorrow it is then. Good.
Oh, don't you worry. We will. After a productive day of work, we're both gonna sleep. Yeah, sleep tight, Seedream. See you tomorrow. Paimon really did sleep like a log. Let's go find Seedream.
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
Whoa! How is the infirmary even...
Good morning, Traveler and Paimon. I have a few people here for a checkup, so you might need to wait for a...
No problem. Anything we can do to help?
There's a bit of a complicated situation here. I'm still getting to the bottom of it,
You have to believe me. I'm telling the truth.
You're in a medical facility. Keep it down.
Please, listen to me. I'm not Gascon. I'm Uy.
You're a horrible liar, you know that? We get all your mugshots with the arrest warrants.
It's clear as day that you're Gascon.
You mean because of the way I look? I don't know what happened. I just woke up like this. Then you guys dragged me in here for an interrogation.
I brought you here to figure out what's going on. If you truly are the victim of an injustice, yelling isn't going to achieve anything. At most, it'll delay your vindication.
All right.
This is nuts. Yesterday's interrogations went fine, and now this.
Morning, Your Grace. What's going on?
Remember the case I mentioned yesterday? The one brought to me by the Marechaussee Phantom? Well, we've been questioning the inmates involved this morning. Every single one of them is claiming mistaken identity.
Huh. That's even weirder than what that guy was saying yesterday.
The thing is, none of them have been able to provide any evidence whatsoever to support their claims. Questioning them further got us nowhere, so for now, we've brought them to the infirmary.
And we thought yesterday was as busy as it got for Siegewien.
We've compiled their statements. Have a look. Perhaps there's something we missed.
Wait.
Release? Interesting. The inmates they spoke of in their statements appear to all be due for release today.
I noticed that too. If that's their plan, they're underestimating us a little. Every serious offender claims that there's someone else who just so happens to be due for release today. And they're expecting us to go along with that.
All the more reason to be cautious. Lumberzar, check the release list for today and make sure no one gets processed. We're gonna need an excuse, though. Just say we're out of forms, and that we're furiously printing more as we speak.
I'm on it.
It's conceivable that our group of serious offenders somehow found a way to switch places with inmates who are about to be released, so they can walk out right under our noses.
We did consider that possibility. But I mean, just look at them. They match the warrants, period. How could there have been a switch?
Only if they're dead ringers for the inmates due for release, I suppose. I gave you that name list yesterday to assist in your investigation. Did that help?
Yes, the inmates' mugshots were attached to the list. The first thing I did was check for lookalikes, and I didn't find any. The only other thing that stands out to me is that their voices sound a little different today. But it's not exactly hard to put on a fake voice.
Oh, really? What does our head nurse make of all of this?
Give me a moment. I think I have a way to confirm whether there's been a switch. I know, it's not time to change your dressing yet, but please bear with me. Huh? Isn't that the guy from yesterday? This should be Honore. He has very severe facial ulcers, which require an operation in the hospital at the Court of Fontaine.
Yes, like I told you. I'm not Potton. I'm Honore.
So there has been a swap. Well, I can see what happened in Potton's case, but how do you explain the other inmates? You're not telling me they're...
No, I believe it was their faces that got switched. The method is a bit like replacing a tooth. Take the bad tooth out, put a false one in. And actually, I think I can prove it to you. Traveler, Paimon, do you remember Eric from the other day? Yeah, sure do. Then you can be my witnesses. To start with, please fetch the inmate who claims to be Eric.
Peace prevails throughout the land, and all things are made new, as buds in the spring. This is an auspicious era for humanity.
So, you're...
Yes, head nurse. It's me. You
I need to do another examination on you, Same procedure as yesterday.
All right. It's the cognition test first, right? So...
Now, try to recall if you can. The last time we did this test, which finger did I hold up?
I believe it was... your index finger.
But that means...
Huh?
So, basically, last night, the Eric who said he saw another him suddenly recovered and applied to leave the observation ward. Seedwing did another test before letting him leave, but that time, she held up her pinky finger.
Huh? I don't know about any test last night. There was nothing to do in the observation ward, so I went straight to bed. Then I somehow woke up in a high-security
Well, in that case, there is a reasonable explanation for the strange events of the past.
So, what exactly happened?
The gang of serious offenders wanted to break out of prison, so they identified a group of scapegoats, namely inmates whose terms were almost up, and planned to switch up. Last night, when Odilon was on duty, they ambushed him and had one of their group switch appearances with him using their face-swapping method. That allowed them to avoid scrutiny from the other guard. Then, once all the other inmates were asleep, Odilon spent his night shift carrying out the remainder of their switcheroo plan. However, they made one mistake. Henri changed his appearance to match Eric's earlier than he should have done, and ended up being spotted by the real Eric. Real Eric came to the guards for help, but we didn't know then what we know now. So we put it down to hallucination and sent him to the However, since one of the gang members was posing as a guard, they simply changed real Eric's appearance and had their Eric take his place, muddying the waters even further.
Right, because I put Eric on the observation list by then, and no inmates on that list can be processed for departure until I've discharged them.
Hence why the imposters had to pull that little stunt to get fake Eric off the list.
Yeah, it all makes sense now! The Duke cracked the case!
Well, I can't fault the reasoning. But I'm
Daddy.
afraid that we ruled out the possibility of face switching.
Criminals altering their facial appearance to commit crimes is nothing
तूने
new.
तो
In fact,
ये सब करा
the
कब? ये
explicit
सारी
duties of the
स्टोरी क्वेस्ट?
Melusines and the Marachose Phantom is to identify criminals, and we carefully examined all the suspects, and there is no evidence that any means of disguise were used in this case.
Huh. Well then, how do we explain all this?
So far, it seems more likely that the gang stole documentation belonging to the inmates due for release, and are using that to commit identity fraud.
Actually, there is a potion that can completely change someone's appearance. If they use that, even a Melusine wouldn't be able to detect it. A shape-shifting potion?
Forgive me, head nurse, but this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
कर
If such
तो
a
रहा हूँ.
potion truly existed, it would jeopardize our entire
इसके बाद सब
investigative
एक स्टोरी
process
क्वेस्ट
with the
रह जाएगा.
Marachose Phantom.
वो मेरे को
Are you
करने
certain
का
of
मन
this?
नहीं है.
Yes, I am.
But
Please trust me
फिर
in my
करने को नहीं होगा
professional
यार फिर
opinion
कुछ
as an
गेंशिन में
experienced
तब क्या
clinician.
करूँगा मैं?
At the same time, without any solid
तब मैं
evidence, it's
HSR
pure
लाइव करूँ क्या?
speculation.
मेरा तो HSR का टाइम आ गया है भाई.
If we can round up all the inmates suspected of switching places, then have a... Yep. Let's...
okay. Well, it was our negligence that meant we had to come and conduct these post-internment interrogations.
Your Grace, bad news. I paused the releases like you asked, but we were too late. A bunch of people. I checked the list, and sure enough, it's all the people who gave statements.
2 hours ago? That's before today's interrogations began.
So there really was a switch after all.
भाई वो मेकअप वाला तो
They really pulled the
आदमी
wool
स्विच
over our
करने
eyes on
लग
We
गया
should
है.
be able to catch up with them if we leave now.
Not if that potion is real. They can just switch faces again after leaving the fortress. And if the Marachose's Melusines can't even spot them, we wouldn't know where to start searching.
Yikes! So we're at a complete dead end!
Well, technically there is one more lead we could We were only able to arrest this gang thanks to the help of a researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute.
Oh? What? Isn't that the handsome guy we met at that skincare promotion?
भाई पाइमॉन हैंडसम.
Handsome? Maybe from a human point of view. I just remember that he specialized in. One of the crimes this gang is charged with is the manufacture and sale of illicit drugs. According to Mr. Rawat, they appear to have stolen technology he developed through his research and used it in their operation. At first, he thought it was a typical case of intellectual property infringement, and he tried to negotiate with them. But once he discovered their criminal operation, he reported them to the authorities. Thanks to his report, we were able to swoop in and arrest them all in one go.
What a hero! Bet that took courage on his part.
No doubt. This is worth following up on. As the one who snitched on them, it's highly likely that Rawat will be targeted by the escapees. That aside, since he's negotiated with them in person before, there's a chance he'll have some additional information.
Understood, Your Grace. My team and I will head to the Fontaine Research Institute right away. In the meantime, please keep an eye on the face switch victims for us.
Of course.
Miss Morgan, I'd like to come along and help you catch.
Huh?
Well, I'm the one who discharged the fake Eric last night.
Don't say that, head nurse. Your focus was on the inmate's health, and rightly so.
I also have a more personal reason. Cotton is a patient of mine, and if I don't get a new batch of medicine to him...
Look, head nurse, I completely understand where you're coming from.
Don't worry,
If I may, Miss Morgan, Sigewinne is the one who raised the potion hypothesis, and I'm sure she has far more expertise on the topic than your team. And if you really are worried for her safety...
ट्रैवलर को भेजो तुम्हारा बॉडीगार्ड जो है भाई.
Ah, there you go, right on cue. Knew I could count on you.
Okay. Well, since this plan has the Duke's blessing, far be it from me to refuse.
ड्यूक का पर्सनल बॉडीगार्ड की जॉब भाई नौकरी लग गई भाई सोमनाथ मेरी. लाइवली के लिए बॉडीगार्ड.
Greetings. Sorry to impose, but I'm afraid...
The Marsha's a phantom. Let me guess, you're...
Not this time, no. We're looking...
What? He actually doesn't work on site here very often. There's a handful of researchers in the nearby area who know him pretty well, though.
Just a handful? Paimon figured he'd be the most popular guy...
Well, I guess you could say he's popular, at least on a superficial level. He's blessed with good looks, so he tends to make a good first impression on people. But in all his time here at the Fontaine Research Institute, I don't think he's ever had a single deep conversation about his research with his peers. That's
so weird. He definitely didn't come across like a recluse at that product promotion. I don't find that weird at all. He definitely didn't strike me as the kind of guy who's, good. Really? Paimon couldn't tell.
Okay, we should talk with his acquaintances. But we also need to check the Research Institute for any clues.
Sure thing. We'll go ask around.
Skyward! Scatter!
Excuse us, are you...
That's me. What is it?
Are you close friends with Rawat? We're trying to find out where you...
Close friends? You mean because I told him I had feelings for him once? I doubt I'm the first or last at the Institute to make that mistake. Why would you single me out as I should have known, really? Men like him, they just enjoy being surrounded by...
Okay.
Why would I know where he's at? I barely know him.
Ugh, this is getting annoying. Shall we go ask someone else? I think she knows Rawat better than she cares to admit. If we leave now, it might be a waste. Maybe, but we're not going to get much out of her while she's in... She's displaying symptoms common among people in love, if that's what you mean. It's curable? Oh, we're still no closer to finding Mr. Rawat.
Oh, by this point, he could be in grave danger.
Danger? Wait, why are you looking for him again?
Oh, that's right, yeah! The Marshosei Phantom said that he's been targeted by some pretty bad people.
What? How has this happened? He seemed fine when I last saw him, and that was only a couple of days ago.
Oh, I see. Well, do you have any thoughts on where he...
Okay, but this is purely out of concern for his safety. If he's not at the Institute, he might be at his mother's place. I heard she raised him alone, that they had it pretty tough financially, and these days she's housebound due to illness. He makes regular trips back home to check on her.
Oh, okay. Do you know that...
Nope, sorry. I only found out the thing about his mother because it came up in conversation once. I was just trying to find out more about him. You know, so I could get to... When I told him I had a crush on him, I offered to help him take care of his mother. And yeah, maybe that was a stupid idea, but did he really have to yell at me for it? It's like, fine, I can take no for an answer, but what's with the Unbelievable. These guys only want to show you their charming, well-groomed exterior. They can't stand it when a few home truths shine through.
Looks like her love syndrome is flaring up again.
We need to find out Mr. Rawat's mother's address. Let's check with the Marshosei officers when we recruit.
Cool, sounds like a...
Yeah! Skyward!
Hey there, are you in Teep?
What do you want?
भाई ये भी
We're here to ask about Rawat. Any idea where he might be? We were told you were pretty...
Close? Not sure that's the word I'd use. He wouldn't even let me use this.
Huh?
It's been a good few days since I last saw him. I don't know where he's at.
Would the patent in question happen to be related to the news?
Yeah, kinda. Butterfly do, or whatever he calls it.
Okay, now we're getting some...
Most of the other researchers here focus on mechanics, energy, stuff like that. I get why he wouldn't be interested in having, but I'm studying coatings. There's a huge overlap in our areas of research. I bought his product once, and noticed it contains a unique substance that might have applications in coatings, too. If it worked out, I could probably make as much as he... Don't get me wrong. I had no intention of plagiarizing his work. I was hoping to get official permission to use his findings in my own research. Followed the proper procedure. It was all above board. I would have had to pay him a license fee and everything. But despite that, he turned me down not once, not twice, but 3 times. It's like he's vehemently opposed to the idea of anyone else making the kind of money he does.
Huh, so is Rawat antisocial, or is this guy just jealous? Well, it doesn't look like we're gonna get any info about Rawat's whereabouts from him.
What? Wait, 1 second. Mr. Antib, next time you go shopping, you should buy some Buell fruits. Peel the skin, steep in water, then drink. It'll help calm your mood.
Huh?
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
Sorry to bother you, sir, but are you Bertram?
Who's asking?
Just some concerned citizens helping out the Marshosei Phantom with an investigation. We'd like to ask you about Rawat's whereabouts, if that's okay. We're told the two of you are pretty close.
Not anymore, we're not. Turns out we don't see eye to eye.
Oh yeah? What happened?
The thing about us researchers is, most of us do what we do for some sort of higher purpose. But not Rawat. All he cared about was how to commercialize his... He won't even let you work with him unless you sign a confidentiality agreement first. Also, he has better control over who gets which intellectual property rights. How are you supposed to get any meaningful research done working with a guy like... Now that I've got my own technical solution for my compressor, I don't need to work with him anymore.
So that's what Rawat is...
We'd still like to know where to find him. Is that something you...
Wait, you're... Yeah, I know you. You're the head nurse at the Fortress of Meripede. Alright, then I'm happy to help you if I can. I respect the work you do. Medicine serves the highest purpose of all.
Wow, turns out Sijuin's got some real clout.
Thing is, I have no real way of knowing where he might be. I stopped working with him 2 months ago, and I've barely seen him. But if you want my advice, I'd say go talk to the peddlers. There's a few he meets with every other day or so. Maybe they know where he's at.
Peddlers?
Yeah, back when I was working with him, I noticed he met with them quite often. Wouldn't surprise me if they were involved in some shady business together. because it seemed like they went out of their way to avoid discussing anything in my presence. The little I overheard was about manufacturing and selling pharmaceutical drugs. Like I said, he's all about the money.
Drugs? Doesn't he work with skincare products?
Who knows? I never cared to find out. He's the Morag rubber, not me.
Thank you.
Welcome. Goodbye.
Well, that's all
क्या
for
भाई
researchers.
मतलब
Let's head back to the meetup
पैसा
point.
पैसा ज्यादा करता है वो, यही बात है ना।
Skyward! Scatter!
You know, Heimat started out thinking Rawat was a handsome researcher with a friendly and cheerful personality. It's such a surprise to learn that his peers have a different impression of him.
So, what's your view of him now?
A handsome researcher whose difficult upbringing turned him into a profit chaser with a chip on his shoulder?
So, your thoughts about his appearance haven't changed at all?
Well, his looks are kind of a big deal. At least in Paimon's opinion. How did such a handsome guy end up being so antisocial? Even with his difficult family background.
You can't judge a person solely based on...
Head nurse. Traveler. I assume you've spoken with the researchers. What did you find out?
Bertram mentioned Rawat's involvement with some pharmaceutical merchants. Do you know if he's registered any pharmaceutical...
Since he was a whistleblower on such a huge case, I ran a background check on him. I don't...
How strange. If he was so focused on commercializing his research and averse to sharing his technology with others, why wouldn't he have registered? Maybe he and his business partners needed to avoid public...
You think he may have colluded with the gang? Well, the crime was manufacture and sale of drugs, and that would certainly be in his wheelhouse. We can't rule it out.
Isn't that pretty unlikely, though? He was the one who blew the whistle on them!
Most children who come to me with tooth decay have suffered pain for a long time already, but they'll still try to hide the fact that they eat too many sweets. Grown-ups and children aren't so different.
If you say...
I saw him when he came to make his report, and I certainly didn't get the feeling that he was the type to collude with criminals. Perhaps it's more likely that they were coercing him. You mentioned that he comes from a poor family. So, it's by the time he discovered who they really were. He was in too deep. That
does make a lot of sense. It would definitely explain why he was so unwilling to cooperate with his fellow researchers.
Hello, welcome back.
No wonder he's so unsociable. He must be on edge all the time with a gang of crooks breathing down his neck.
स्टोरी में
In that case, the situation could be worse than we thought. If
स्टोरी में
Rawat was
कुछ
working with the
हो तो रहा
escaped
है ना।
inmates, they're sure to know more about his whereabouts than us.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, he was last seen 2 days ago.
2 days ago? So he went missing right after that product promotion.
That was the same day he reported the criminals, too.
Don't worry, everyone. I believe we still have a chance. Since he...
Yeah, he must have been worried that...
All the more reason to find him as soon as possible. The only lead we have at the moment is his mother's house, which you met.
Yep. When you register a brand, the Court of Fontaine requires you to provide a legal address. The one Rawat...
Okay.
चलो गाइस, दूसरों की मां। आप इधर कौन रहता है भाई? फाउंटेन के कोने में। ऐसी जगह रहेगी तो कितनी महंगा है क्या?
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
All right. This should be the house. I'm...
Okay.
Sounds like whoever's inside has restricted mobility. Oh, it seems serious. Oh, what's the fact?
Break the door down?
No, I'll handle it. Let the expert deal with it. There'll be a mountain of paperwork if we...
पेपर वर्क से कौन डरता है अभी?
Calm down. Deep breaths. Remember your training. Control your strength. And it's open.
भाई ये क्या स्कैम है?
See,
ऐसे कौन
take a
बोलता
few
है?
people and lie in wait. Keep your eyes peeled for any activity around the house. The traveler, head nurse.
वही ना? जान जान खतरा है भाई और पेपर वर्क.
Oh, there. On the bed, there's an old lady. That's gotta be Rawat's mother, right? She doesn't look like she's in any state to be answering our questions.
कैसा लग रहा है? एमिली के घर के
Try, but she is
सारे
very
प्लांट
ill.
उठा के इधर
We
ले आए.
mustn't force.
Well, doesn't look like Rawat's here. She's the only.
Yep. Hello, ma'am. Might I ask if you're Rawat's mother? We're hard of hearing, perhaps. Does anyone have a picture of
I have one here.
I'd like to show you a photo, ma'am. Is this your son? Looks like this isn't
होने
gonna
दो
work
भाई
after
क्या?
all.
Well, looks like we're out of leads.
Is it possible he could have avoided return?
Maybe. But if so, where do we look next?
Yes, so.
I suggest we all return there now. We found a good amount of useful information.
Sorry, officer, but could I stay here for a while?
Of course.
आज संडे है ना
The
यार, मेरे
traveler,
को भी जाना
stay
था
with the
किसी.
head nurse.
Also, I'd like some Marchusei members to stay as well.
Why's that?
If Rawat knows how serious his mother's condition is.
Got it. Okay, I'll tell the squad member.
Thanks for helping me out yet again, Traveler and Paimon. No problem. But when you... Yes, she's bare... Oh. Let me take care of a few things first. Could you pack... Yeah, of course. I can tell that her family has tried a lot of different treatment methods, including some very expensive medicines. Seedwing. Paimon bets being a nurse must be pretty tough. Yes. In Amelazine's eyes, a human's birth, but human medicine can defy that law to some extent. In that sense, but it was only after I truly became a doctor that I realized miracles don't always happen. Even the greatest doctors cannot cure all diseases. Seedwing. Don't worry about me, Paimon. A doctor's duty is not to cure all diseases, but to treat whatever ailment. At the very least, I can lower her fever. That way she'll suffer less. And yeah, all the more reason to find Rawat as soon as possible, even if we... Oh, her fever is getting worse. Sure, we're on the...
पानी तो लिया नहीं.
Found the hot water? Sure did. And look what else we found. Judging by this journal, it seems like Rawat has a private lab. There's a good chance he could be there right now. That's great news. But the wet towel is ready. I'm giving you another injection. Are you feeling better now? It's all right. We'll go bring him back. Thank you.
पता सब कुछ है भाई.
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Yeah!
came as soon as we heard the news. I can't believe we were so careless.
Don't blame yourself. Right now, we need to focus on finding a way in. There's a mechanical door over here. Hopefully the instructions in Rawat's journal will help us.
It's open. Let's go in.
देख वही होयो ने animation.
Who's our target this time?
How did they get in here? Captain, up ahead! Those look like our fugitives!
So they found this place too? Don't let any of them escape!
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Here comes the catch. Quietly now.
I see everything.
Hunt them down.
The wrong test subject.
Captain, according to our list, many of the fugitives aren't accounted for. There may be others hiding deeper inside.
So these guys were just the look.
The Marashose Phantom! How did they find this?
Wait, it's that guard from the fortress.
That's right, I'm on your side. I mean, the Duke sent me. What's the matter? Some sort of mix-up?
Mr. Odilon, didn't I tell you a few days ago that you need to stop all field work until—
Well, you know, gotta help His Grace out. Share the load.
Officer Morgan, this man is an imposter. The real Mr. Odilon has no recent health issues.
What?
Looks like the head nurse was right about the face-swapping method. Arrest them all! DuPont, stay here and keep guard. And watch the exit. If
Got it.
Take it easy.
यार ऊपर चेस्ट है
So many jars. Was this some sort of production facility? This scent. It's probably the ingredients used to make butterfly dew. How come they're all empty? Did it sell so well that he ran out of supplies?
How strange. Why would Rawat choose to manufacture a popular product like that in such a difficult-to-reach given our suspicion that he may have been coerced into the illegal drug trade? I would have thought that any production facility we find here would be used.
Perhaps butterfly dew is itself a—
Do you have any evidence for that claim?
No, just a guess. We need to find Rawat as soon as possible.
Understood.
Take it easy.
Doesn't look like we're gonna get this door open. Let's find another way around.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
This one's closed too. What's with those carts and tracks? Oh, maybe it's one of those doors that opens when it senses cargo passing through. There's a loaded cart right over there. Let's bring it to the door and give it a try.
Busted.
Grow.
I did 5 wrong.
Hold still. Don't slip and fall. Ooh. Floaty floaty. Don't slip and fall. This room's much smaller than the others. Judging by the implements on the table, this looks like a potion-making lab.
Head nurse! Over here!
Let's see. Huh? What? Perhaps they stripped him down, left the clothes behind. Yikes, Siegeween, where did that come?
Oh, what a tragic way to go.
There's a path leading further on, Officer Morgan. then fall. Whew. Shh! There's a whole bunch of people in there.
Are you serious? You're telling us that within a day, our faces are going to rot like yours?
Fontanian physiology changed dramatically after that great flood, and it's not as compatible with this face-changing solution as before. The side effects...
Why didn't you say anything before we all used it?
Look, my plan got y'all out of prison, didn't it? You'd have much bigger problems to worry about right now if the Marshal Say Phantom found out about your other crime.
Ugh. You're just lucky we didn't leave you in there after you disappeared on us with no warning.
Partners? Make no mistake, each of us is only looking out for himself. If you hid things from me too, remember how you each had a spare potion? You kept quiet about it until we—
Oh, and you didn't have a secret spare? Then do you want to explain how you melted your face off before all—
Guys, that's enough. Calm down. It is what it is. What's the plan, Parton? I'm assuming you brought us here for a
There is no plan. We followed him here on the promise of more juice. Besides, what does it matter now anyway? He already said, even if we did get our hands on more of that stuff, switching faces again solves nothing. They're still gonna melt off eventually.
I said enough arguing!
The most practical solution is to continue using the potion. Keep switching to a new face before the ulcers can start—
Are you kidding me? This stuff was hard enough to get a hold of even when we had a supply. Now you're asking us to use it like skin lotion, after the flood all but wiped the supply out?
Well, there is another option. But you'll have to make a deal with me.
Okay, now we're talking.
I have a document I took from that researcher that details how to make a replacement. Just give me one bottle of the undiluted fluid, and I'll— What's the problem? I thought you always kept reserves. What do you—
What do you think? That we were shipping them into the fortress of Meripede by the—
Well then, say hello to never showing your marred faces in public again.
Ugh, I've heard enough! Get him! Let's see if—
Freeze! Marshal Say Phantom!
What? Who let them in?
Officer Morgan, before anything else, please find out Rawat's status.
Rawat?
I don't see him. Hand over the hostage now, if you want any chance of avoiding an extension to your sentences.
Spare us your condescending attempts to coax us back to our cells. You think we're looking to negotiate? Rawat is dead.
Putton?
Arrest them all! Don't let anyone get away!
Everyone hold hands!
As you wish, main Fräulein.
Take it easy. Gotcha.
Let's blow bubbles! He might feel a little prick. I see everything.
Time to testify.
Calm down.
Midnight Phantasmical.
Game's up. Fun's over. Quietly now. Gotcha.
Huh. Gotta say, I never expected to see the head nurse in combat.
Some patients respond better to a more aggressive treatment plan.
Captain, we finished the head count. Potten's missing.
Over there! The door's...
One group trying to arrest me, another trying to hunt me down. Good. I gotta kill two birds with one stone.
How did he get up there? There must be a secret passage somewhere. Find it!
Don't waste your energy. I already sealed it off.
How naive. We have more people outside.
Well then, you'd better hope they get here in time.
There's some kind of gas leaking from the pipes. Be careful, it's poisonous.
This is our distribution center, where we store the product derived from our source solution. We had to use special fire prevention The pipe network here was designed to emit a gas for firefighting.
Why would you do this? Your partners are here too.
Oh, please. If they can't supply what I need, they're of no further use to me. Besides, I can't have him exposing my potential whereabouts.
He's a maniac! Come on, we gotta find a way to open that door!
Go ahead, struggle in vain. Once the last of you croak.
Are you sure you're ready to leave, Potton? You haven't changed your dressing today.
You can't cure my face. Just give up.
And what if I could?
Nice try. You're just trying to stall me. Don't you worry about me. I'll find a way to cure my face once I get out of here.
Oh, I doubt it. After all, Fontanians can no longer dissolve in prime. The key component of the face-changing potion is the fluid left behind by dissolved Fontanians. It might look like ordinary water, but it has some unique element. Before the flood. All Fontanians were Oceanids, physiologically speaking. A potion made from that fluid could dissolve and reconstruct the face of a Fontanian, in much the same way as theoretically it could give someone any appearance they wish. But since the flood, Fontanians have become true humans. They can no longer provide the source material for this
Are you saying this potion is made from Fontanians dissolved with primordial seawater?
How could you know all of this? No, wait.
It also means that I have a formula you're unaware of. Here's...
I might get to make a deal today after all. Alright.
Oh, it's not a formula, but a finished product.
What?
When I tried Rawat's skincare product, I noticed it had a certain special component in it. So I had my friends gather some other ingredients for me, and sure enough, I'm guessing his skincare lotion contains the fruits of your joint
Huh. Impressive guesswork. Yeah, we were a supply. But it only contains a tiny amount of the active ingredient. The effect is minuscule.
Well, I found a way to reverse the dilution process, giving the skincare lotion a similar effect to the flu.
That's impossible.
If I tell you some of the ingredients, I think you can figure it out. First, you need to combine tainted hydrophantasm to...
Tainted hydrophantasms and transoceanic pearls.
So?
Sounds good to me. There's a delivery pipeline beneath this window. Drop the potion in, and I'll release...
Nope, not trusting you that easily. You're like those naughty kids who try to hide their illness. Open the sluice gate first, then I'll hand you the potion.
Even if you're not bluffing, your potion won't cure my face permanently. You really think I'm not closing the valve this time? Plaxed?
Fine, then I'll just stand here with the potion in my hand. And when I faint from the poison, I'll drop it and it'll be
No.
It's open!
Disable that sluice gate! Jam it! Don't let it close again!
That's more like it. In that case...
Head nurse, there's too much poison gas in here. We have to leave, now!
That was too close. That button is a real nasty...
Oh, don't be too quick to sit down. Moving around a little will help relieve the soreness. Same goes for you, Traveler. Oh, but
flying fast is pretty tiring too, actually. Anyway, that's not important right now. Paimon's still shocked to learn that there's a whole criminal operation going on behind that skink.
Shame I ended up giving the improved version to Potton after finally making it for you. I'll make you some more.
No, please don't. Paimon doesn't want to use that stuff anymore. Still, it was a pretty good job that Paimon wanted to buy some in the first place, huh? Yeah, Paimon was just...
Head nurse, I've done a final head count of our team and the criminals. Everyone's here. It's a shame that we didn't find Rawat.
What a horrible bunch. Especially that Potton guy.
No, we wouldn't.
I always keep a whole bunch of antidotes on me for emergencies, and one of them neutralizes that poison gas. Wait, what? And why did you give him the—
If this is true, I must concur. Sorry to be blunt, but if he changes his appearance and flees Fontaine, it's unlikely that we'll ever find him.
No, you don't understand. I gave him the potion precisely so we could be sure where he'll go next.
What do you mean?
We gotta hurry. She won't last much longer.
Don't move a muscle. I might be short, but I pack a mean, Captain. You're just in time. While I was lying in wait, I spotted this crook snooping around, trying—
Oh.
Are you... Potton? So this is where you were heading, huh?
What?
This is how Potton looked before his face was marred. His current appearance matches the mugshot on his arrest warrant.
I see. Wait, so what's going on? Wasn't the whole point of the potion to disguise himself and escape Fontaine? Why would—
Enough of this nonsense. Let me...
You better pipe down. There's an old lady in there who's very sick. No—
To heck with it. Listen to me. I'm Rawat. That's my mother in there.
He's gotta be lying, right? Rawat was a victim in all this. He was forced into it against his will. How can he—
Forced against his will? Back when I was being coerced, everyone thought I was colluding of my own free will. And then when I actually became a criminal in my own right, you all suddenly... Amazing what a difference a handsome face makes.
Save us the speech.
You want an explanation? Fine. I'll tell it how it is. When I was just Potton, the whole world treated me with contempt.
Ew. What do you want? Get away from me.
Women despise me.
Collaborate? You don't look like much of a researcher.
My peers scorned me.
Mr. Potton, was it? I'm most interested in your research. Consider my offer carefully. I doubt you'll find other investment.
Only villains would work with me.
You want out of the game? Forget about it. Turns out, I slipped up a little. Left your picture with some Marechaussee Phantom officers. Easy mistake to make. Now they've listed you as an accomplice. So I suggest you put any thoughts of running away to rest. If you get caught by the guard—
There was no way out for me. Until...
Mr. Rawat,
I became popular with women.
This new potion you developed is fascinating. Genius, in fact. Would you consider working with me?
My peers looked up to me.
Okay, I'm very interested in your research, sir. You must no doubt have offers from countless investors.
And the villains even began to fear me. Becoming Rawat showed me what a superficial world we live, but I did not hold a grudge. After all, this superficiality could be made to— or so I thought. But alas, the world seemed bent on— Mother, I'm back. How are you doing?
Who are you?
I bought the best medicine Mora could buy, but nothing would cure her illness. In the end, I hoped she'd at least be able to see her son one last time before she passed, but when everyone else rejected me, the only person who cared about me was my mother. Then, when I became a rising star and—
I have to let her see me again. Even if it means donning my own wretched, ugly face. Well, is that enough explaining for you? Now
have you ever considered if you'll even be able to look your mother in the eyes? You found a way to completely change your identity. You could easily have escaped from them. But no.
Why would I want to give up on such a lucrative business? The profits were dozens of times that of the synth business, and it was all above—
So you kept being a villain just for the—
Villain? By what standard? Is doing evil deeds really what makes someone a villain in your eyes? Or does it all come down to the way they look? None of you saw a villain when I was wearing my other— You have no right to judge me! You're all just fake people living in a hypocritical world! I regret nothing!
You're a villain to the core, but especially that tongue.
Honestly, I don't see a villain when I look at your current face.
Don't humor me. You don't seem surprised by my confession in the least. How—
I didn't know anything for sure until you chose to take that potion bottle and spare our lives. But if you're asking when I started suspecting you, it was the first time you came. I had to confirm my suspicions. That's why I chose to join the—
Are you kidding me? A young, promising researcher and a wretched criminal? What on earth gave you the idea that they could be what?
Well, there were no visual clues. This potion's face-changing effects are very powerful. Even as a Melazine, I could— But I believe I understand humanity a little better than most of my kind. Humans have certain fundamental qualities that do not change with their appearance.
Fundamental qualities, huh? So you think you're the one who's seen through me, do you? Most people probably don't know this, but I think I can guess what your deal is. Melazine constitutions are very close to that of water, so it stands to reason that the potion should work on them too. You used it yourself, didn't you? That's why you have a human appearance.
Cedrine?
Yes, you're right.
I'll bet it was back in the days when Melazines were discriminated against. It was either carry on living in the gutters as part of an alien race cast out by humanity, or become the head nurse of the fortress of Meripede, So you see, you and I were the same. And I'm the one who saw through you!
That's not important right now. You came here to see your mother, didn't you? Well, I can grant you your wish.
Huh?
Head nurse, I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Don't worry. Back in the warehouse when I traded the potion for our lives, I was doing it to test him. He was willing to risk sacrificing his only chance of escaping capture by opening the gate in exchange for the potion. Also, he could see his mother again. If nothing else, his concern for his mother is—
I see.
So before you arrest him, please allow him to see his mother one last time. The Traveler and I will—
All right. I am—
Mom? It's me, Potton. Your son. Mom, what's—
I'm sorry, but I have some bad news. I examined your mother.
What?
Your appearance no longer has any bearing on her ability to recognize you. But there are always—
No, it can't be. Please, Mom, open your eyes. It's me. I've done so much to get to this point. Please. No.
The temperature of his palm must have changed. I'm sorry. It seems I couldn't bring him back to you after all.
It's you?
Of course.
Mom, why will you answer her and not me?
No more questions, Potton. She's gone.
Mom?
I'm sorry to say this, Potton, but you and I—
The wait is over, everyone! The sale of our new skincare product, Romaritime Essence.
Another skincare promotion! And it's selling as fast as last time. Wonder what people would think if they knew it would— Oh, Cedrine's here too! Hey, Cedrine!
Oh, Traveler, Paimon, hello! Oh, I hope you two got a good rest yesterday after—
Of course! Nurse's orders, right? Anyway, are you here to take notes for—
Actually, I'm mostly here to help Officer Morgan wrap up yesterday's case.
Ah, that reminds Paimon. That stuff sold like crazy, didn't it?
Nope, there's nothing to worry about. Unless modified, Butterfly Dew is an excellent skincare product that's completely... Besides, officers have already retrieved all Butterfly Dew purchased on the market. Now it's just a matter of disposal. After consulting Monsieur Nervulette, I came up with a way to neutralize any harmful effects. So it'll evaporate naturally without...
Wow, it's Siege...
Thank you for serving as our consultant, head nurse. All the Butterfly Dew we recovered has been disposed of, according to your instructions.
Great! Good job, everyone!
Also, you mentioned you wanted a copy of Rawat's interrogation records. Well, technically, Potten's records. Anyway, I have them with me. After he saw his mother for the last time, it was like all his mental defenses came crashing down. He put up no resistance during the interrogation, and answered all our questions. We learned a lot. Apparently, the formula was something he discovered by chance while helping the criminal gang produce synth. Later, he came up with the idea to dilute it and use the resulting substance as a skincare product. Their supplier was Vache. But you could also argue that they were the ones doing him a favor. It made for a seamless collaboration. One man's trash was another man's treasure, and there were no loose ends.
Vache again, huh?
Make no mistake. The crimes of Vache and his accomplices will come to an end. Since the flood cut off their supply of primordial seawater, they've been forced to resort to riskier methods, like using their private reserve to attack people on the street. After receiving numerous reports, we were able to zero in on the gang.
That sounds more like it.
Based on what he told us in his confession, we pretty much had him backed into a... He tried to throw us off his tail by reporting his accomplices, giving him enough time to but there was one thing he hadn't anticipated. Even though Potten had been missing for a long time, we were very much still on the lookout for him. So, the moment he appeared in public...
So he tried this once...
Looking at the
Yes, which is why I suspect that his initial motive for using the potion was not personal greed, but a desire to become somebody who had the power to save her. Even so, he went too far.
I understand. Thank you for
Why did you want them anyway?
Potten was one of my patients, so I need to put together a medical file for him.
Why are you still treating him like your patient?
Well, that may be true, but a patient is a patient, regardless...
One last thing, head nurse. Please keep everything you know about this. It would be for the best if most of Fontaine knows nothing of its existence. I know my fellow officers and I will be able to sleep easier if that's the case.
Of course, not to worry.
Thank you for understanding.
So, Seedwing, did you really use that potion yourself?
Why do you sound so surprised, Paimon? I told you all about it.
You mean that story about the witch and the potion? So it was
Yes, it really actually genuinely... But... I know. There are some secrets I can't tell anyone about. But considering everything we've been... Before I tell you, though, could you follow me somewhere? I want to be...
Of course!
Take it easy.
Oh, Nervalette and Risley, they're here too!
Good to see you, Traveler. Paimon. I trust all has been going well for you?
Big news, everyone. The Udex is out of his office on important business.
Is that genuinely something people would consider big news?
Why wouldn't they? Important business is a big deal.
Ah, yes, you're quite right. When someone you care about requires emotional support, being there for them at the right time and place is of the utmost. After reading the Maréchal Phantom's reports, I had a feeling a trip here might...
Take note. That, my friends, is how Monsieur Neuvillette shows that he cares. We're both here for the same purpose, actually. To accompany Sigewinne as she pays her respects to her—
So the old friend she mentioned was her teacher then? Oh, sorry. Paimon didn't mean to be rude. It's only because Sigewinne calls her that all the time.
I doubt she considers that title to be offensive, Paimon. Don't worry.
Indeed. In fact, I believe Sigewinne would take it as a sign of affection. She has spoken of this doctor on many occasions, and it sounds like she was a truly generous in those days, many people harbored prejudices against Melusines. She was the only teacher willing to take Sigewinne—
Wow. It's really nice of you two to be here for Sigewinne. Guess you guys really look out for your
Younger colleague? Well, that might be true for the Udex, but I'm not sure I can say the same. Sigewinne served a sentence in the fortress of Meripede hundreds of years ago, and after she did her time, she decided to stick around. She's been an integral part of our administration ever since. Strictly speaking, the head nurse has been around longer than most people in the fortress, myself included. Pretty sure that makes me the young—
She served a sentence?
Yes. Long before I became Udex, there was an ancient law in Fontaine that prohibited any attempt to transform another species into a human. Initially, I and most researchers believed this law to have been imposed due to ethical concerns. But now, it seems more likely that the law was nothing more than an insurance policy, a way for Egeria to ensure that her people would remain insulated from the truth, thus enabling them to lead more straightforward, happy—
Ignorance is bliss, as they say.
Sigewinne had her reasons for choosing to obtain a human form, but the act was nonetheless unclear.
Could you tell us a little bit more about what happened back—
Certainly. Sigewinne does not object to her close friends learning about her history. In fact, I first learned of it myself because she confessed the truth to me of—
Even with their daughter so ill, they kicked you out? Stubborn as always. Shame that I don't have the energy to get over there. You're laughable, you old witch. You want to save everyone—
Master!
I discovered a strange disease, one I suspect that every Fontanian suffers from. But without wit, I had no choice but to experiment on myself to find a cure. But I hit a wall. And as you could—
Then I'll find a cure for you.
There's no need. I am beyond saving now.
But, Master—
As I said before, a doctor's duty is to treat whatever
I know. But—
That girl. She's your first ever—
I'll do whatever it takes.
Even if it means breaking the law and being punished for—
As long as I don't hurt anyone.
Then I shall make one more final gamble. And see my experiment through to its end. If I am able to work this miracle, then I will have found a way to save all Fontanians. If not, then it means there is one more disease in this world that I cannot treat. In that case, I will leave you a parting gift. An accidental discovery happened upon through my study of this strange disease.
When Sigewinne returned, the miracle had not occurred. She found a potion bottle and a note on the table. After using the potion as instructed, she gained her current form, breaking Fontaine's law, and after I had confirmed the veracity of the events, I gave my verdict.
So that's what happened.
I fear Sigewinne only understood the full story after the truth about the dissolution of Fontanians. When I reflected on all this with that knowledge in hand, I felt a deep sense of regret. As I use the law to uphold justice, there are times when I cannot help but acknowledge it. After the final details of the events surrounding Sigewinne's transformation came to light, I checked several sources and, thankfully, the legal code does not require Sigewinne to shoulder any additional punishment.
Wonder how she feels about all this.
Since she invited you here, I imagine she intends to speak of these matters with you, no?
You're here. The old friend I mentioned was my teacher. When she passed, her body was nowhere to be found. Siegewing, the witch who gave you the magic potion, she... Sounds like Monsieur Nervillette filled you in. After learning the truth, it must have been hard to process. Well, to be honest, after I realized what really happened that night, my first thought was that it kind of made sense. But she was planning to sacrifice herself, and that's just who she was. If lying is what it took to get a kid to take their medicine, then that's what she'd do. All right, but why did you... I broke the law. Simple as that. My teacher made her choice. True. It's just... the way Potton framed it when he was asking you all those questions. You're not like him at all, and everything Nervillette said confirmed. And yet, you were still convicted and thrown in prison. Unfair? I happen to think just the opposite. If I hadn't served that time, I'm not sure I would have been able to stay strong when he was... Well, what makes you say that? I knew you'd be curious. The verdict came down. This Melusine is guilty. The Eudex defended the authority of Fontaine law, but he did not confiscate the Melusine's medical kit. And so, the Fortress of Meripede gained a new little doctor. She still wore her hood and raincoat, even though it never rained in the fortress. Perhaps thanks to her human appearance, no one refused her treatment. She treated more and more patients, and her sentence grew ever shorter. Finally, the people of the fortress could not live without her, and though her sentence ended, she did not leave them either. Then one day, she received an invitation from the outside world. The location seemed familiar, and when she arrived, an old lady was waiting for her. She saw right through the Melusine's disguise, but didn't reveal it. Instead, she asked a question.
Tell me, why do you think you gained the respect of so many people, despite being a Melusine?
Because I look like a human?
It's been 50 years, Sijuin, and you haven't aged a day. I think everyone knows you are not human. I finally found you, after all these years. I still remember, you know. It was you who saved me that night.
But how? I was no longer a Melusine by then.
Does it really matter if you're human or Melusine? I remember the warmth of your palm. It's quite unmistakable. And you know what? It hasn't changed one bit. You don't have to hide anymore, Sijuin. These days, everyone wants to make friends with Melusines. And I think that it's all because of you. I'm sorry I couldn't say this until now, but thank you, Dr. Melusine.
Oh, muchas gracias.
That's an ending Paimon can get behind. After hearing everything
you.
Potton said, I wanted to tell him that it didn't matter who he looked like on the outside. But it was too late. I tried to treat him, but the roots of his problem had nothing to do with his face. I understand. Thanks. Oh, it's nothing. Our pleasure. Oh, there's one more reason I invited you here. In order to restore the appearances of the face-swapping victims, the Marechaussee Phantom gave me special permission to make a few bottles of that potion. We don't need it though. Well, even if you chose to destroy it, I still thought I should give it to you first. You two did so much for me. Well, fair enough, but still. If this is the very last bottle in all of Teyvat, getting rid of it would feel like kind of a waste. Hey, Melusine physiology wasn't affected by the Great Flood, right? So that means the potion should have a permanent effect on you. In that case, what do you say, Seedween? Ever thought about transforming back to the way you... After all, from a Melusine point of view, Paimon bets Melusines look the cutest of all. Paimon, after everything, do you really think it matters whether a What was Paimon thinking? You made up your mind a long time ago. Yeah, let's leave it to me.
खत्म। अच्छी स्टोरी थी यार। एवरेज इंच स्टोरी से तो बहुत बेटर थी। प्लस अगर वो हुड वाली स्किन के साथ सीजनिंग डालते ना ये, तो बहुत लोग ले भी लेते हैं। बट ये क्वेस्ट में करना नहीं चाहता यार, स्टोरी की स्टोरी क्वेस्ट के रीजन के लिए करूँ तो
Oz, reveal that.
Quietly now. Ready.
Wings of darkness.
Things are about to get dicey. Busted. Hunt them down. Into the shadows.